about it. We're live. It is the Kent Beck Scrum. We have myself, we have Will, we have Michael. We have a potential new marketing intern, and I will maybe just send him a link to this. I don't know if he'll actually join or not. Feel free to join our Scrum and listen in. Yeah, let's start with Michael was first in. Michael, how are things going with you? It sounds like you had some success last week.
Yes, so I did it with some help from Mary, and I ended up finishing out a lot of the steps to basically, well, one, I set up scripts to automate the deployment of the cron tab.
Right. So this is all for the data mining for the premium
automated premium.
Yeah.
So once you've logged into the VM and you've cloned the repo, it's now in master. There's a shell, a bash script called setup cron tab that will, if you have basically it'll set up that cron tab test to run at 4 a.m. UTC on Sunday. There's also like some instructions on, you have to put your keys into a certain shell called setup environs.shell, and there's instructions on that. And then
all those instructions are in the automated premium model repo, are they now?
Yes.
Wonderful.
They're in the README. So, and then the other thing we did, I ended up setting up CI. So there's now CI running on the repo, and that required some significant refactoring. So there's that automated premium. Do you see how it's in its own folder now?
Yeah.
It's now technically a module.
Okay.
Because that seemed the easiest way to get CI to actually. So the way we were running tests before, we still can run them that way.
Yes.
The problem was that that's okay for like a user, but it doesn't actually. When a test fails, it won't actually return status 0.
Right.
So CI thinks everything's okay when it's not.
Okay.
So by using, basically, R has some facilities in place to run tests, but for some reason they're only basically centered around like modules, like packages. So basically we've kind of made this a package inside that just this repo uses. Basically, it's not like a
Well, it all sounds great. I guess it's maybe more detailed than, and I mean, I'm having trouble following, and I know the project well. Maybe for the Scrum, I mean, yeah, it sounds like a lot of things were done and were overcome, which is fantastic. I'm getting the updates, wonderful. Are there anything blocking you going forward?
On this project right now, no. I just need to do. I just have a bunch of issues listed in there. There's like 6 open issues. So
okay, all right,
just going on.
Great stuff. Yeah, I put in a feature request. Anything else to report? Anything? Are you blocked on any other fronts?
No.
All right. Well, great work. I'll look forward to looking into all that. Will is also here. Hey, Will, how are things going with you? Oh, things are going with Will with.
Yes, sorry, I have my microphone muted. Hopefully you can hear me okay.
Yep.
It's quite loud in here. I've been figuring out, so a couple of days ago I paired with Tom Giordano, and we paired on Y, and we've added a feature where you can see which part of the interface is for the payer and which part of the interface is for the payee, because that's something he identified as a problem. And what I've been doing since then is figuring out how to merge his changes in the repository, how to publish them, which I've done now, and then now I'm going to have to figure out how to merge in my changes, because the demo, the published demo has taken one step forward with his change, but it's taken 2 steps back because it's lost changes that I'd made to it with testing. So I'm going to figure out my workflow better now after this, which is fine. Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, excellent. So it sounds like good progress and not blocked.
No.
Great stuff. I think Sigo is also here. We might mute Will due to the background noise. Sigo, how things are going with you?
Yeah. Oh, hey guys. Okay. So you can hear me. Today, what did I work on? I did some error handling on RFM. Then I want to start on local support. I want to give the project the ability to do this. The scope of how do I say this? The scope of the story was just to display the events, but I want to create other stories that can enable someone to click on the event and edit it, to drag the events around. Not really anyone, but the owner of that particular event, so that if the event changes from, let's say, 12th to 17th, they can drag it to 17th.
Lovely.
Yes. So that's what I want to work on as a separate story now on the calendar that we have for the local support.
That's great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Anything blocking you at all, Sigu?
Not really. Now that it's merged in, I can start on this. In case of any blockers, I'll let you know. I've not yet started on that, so
yeah.
Just...
It sounds wonderful. I guess looking at it, I immediately think, well, that's the kind of thing that would be really desirable on website 1. I think the thing that we do need to be a little bit careful with local support is that it's got a client, and I imagine they will love whatever we build for them, but website 1 is it's kind of for us. So I wonder almost if it would make more sense to work on that kind of functionality in website 1. Anyway, maybe we can discuss that at the end of the Scrum. Sorry, I should do my update quickly and we can move on. So for me, big thanks to Will and Brent and everybody else who helped run Scrums last week. That was wonderful. I got straight in this morning and started working on fixing the issue where the YouTube link from the previous Scrum gets pinged, and I think I do have a fix for that, and that's on staging, and so hopefully we won't have the problem tomorrow. So that was at least one step forward. Then I saw Brent. He's having some very strange behavior from like intermittent test fails related to versions of Node on local support, which went away briefly and then came back while we were watching in the previous Scrum. It kind of feels like there's a huge lot of time that can be burnt there, that we need to get maybe properly away from Bower or just something. We need to get that all sorted. So we've left that as, let's try not to burn too much time of it. Let's try and get the whatever JavaScript load process we have in local support sorted. I mean, there's only one library. We've got all of this, stuff going on to load a single dependency, which is a single sheet of JavaScript. Maybe we should just put that and check it into the repo. But maybe more on that in the local support meeting on Thursday. Then I had the order graders meeting. Both the main instructors have completely failing assignments on the order grader, which I don't understand why, and that's blur. There's a big chunk of work to do there. I'm also trying to work out how to auto-renew HTTPS certificates on the NHS Wiki project, and I'm not making much progress there. And I've got lots of admin to do. But yeah, and the clocks have gone back, but we've managed to have the meetings, which have been full, and that's all good. So I think that's our meeting then. Was there anything else that anybody wanted to bring up to the group?
Not really.
No, if not, what did you think of what I was saying there before, Sigu, about the the calendar and website 1 and so on?
Yeah, so I think it's a very nice idea. If we could incorporate that, let me share this. If we could have such a thing
Oh, go on.
for events, for local, for, how do you call it?
Yes,
For
go on.
Agile Ventures event.
Yeah, we could have a view.
So that,
oh, go on, sorry.
so that when a user comes, let's see. They have an option of seeing this view. Let's wait for it to load. They have an option of seeing these views.
Mm.
Okay. I don't know which kind of events we will put here, but they can also see a calendar like this.
Yeah,
Maybe. Yeah, so you can look at the day, or how the day will be.
I think people will probably find the calendar view much more comprehensible than the current view, I suspect. And I think the ability to then move around and manage the things and so on would also be very, very useful for people. I mean, I think that and potentially it's also very useful in local support. I think the danger in local support is that we risk running ahead of what the users are saying that they need, whereas as users of website one, if we like it, that's a reasonable justification for doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also another feature of having different colors. So let's say for Scrums, we might have different colors and the likes. So it's a nice thing for website one.
Yeah, I think so. Well, and particularly then if the calendar will also automatically display kind of in the time zone that the person is in.
By the way, how are displaying this? Does it calculate the time zone on the front end?
Yeah, it does. So like, see, you've got EAT there. That's great. That's I guess East Africa.
Yeah, East African time. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's calculating what time that event is in for your local time zone. So you always see the correct time. And so, I mean, in the calendar, does it the calendar view that you've got there? Does it not show the times? It just shows the days when the thing is on, or
it depends. If it's a full day event, it doesn't show the time. If it's
like
if it starts at like 10:30, yeah, it will be 10:30 a.m.
Right. So there, and now, yeah, that's the question. There is like, if it's an event at 10:30 on that day, is that 10:30 time going to be displayed as 10:30 UTC to everyone, or is the calendar going to adjust based upon the user's browser time zone?
Not sure about that. What we can do? Yes, Mike.
It says there's time zone support over there on the right. There's a link.
Oh yeah, here it is.
Cool.
So potentially. Oh, is that just telling me the offsets, or?
Yeah, you can see this. Let me see.
Yeah, but presumably, yeah, there'll probably be some way around.
Yeah, there's an offset.
So we could probably load it so that it auto detects the time zone and then select the user's browser.
Yeah. Or we could use this particular JavaScript that we're using to come up with the object that we feed into this.
Yeah, indeed. There will be lots of possibilities. Cool. Well, I think it's great stuff. I was going to ask Sigurd, the thing that you were talking about working on before for local support was the kind of auto, the setup scripts and so on. Have you kind of put that to one side for the moment?
Yeah, I've put it aside because I do not have Ubuntu on my machine, and trying to run a virtual machine was not that helpful.
Right. Oh, no problem. No problem. I just I started thinking about it again. I did adjust the website one contributing stuff and was talking about getting people access to C9, and just made me start thinking about it again. But yeah, no worries. Good stuff. All right. Well, I think that's. I feel free to carry on chatting. Lovely initiative, Sigu. Yeah, if nobody is stuck or anything or needs or nobody's looking for a pair partner right up now.
Not really.
Not right now.
Cool. Well, good to see you.
So
good to see you all again. Go on, Sigu.
Before we leave, Sam, can we create a story for this on website one so that I can look at the possibilities of doing this?
We certainly could. Let me pop that up over here. Waffle one. Ding dong. I'd also be interested if while I'm doing this, I was sort of fixing one bug, from things that Will's experience. Was there anything, and Will, Sigu, Michael, anything from last week? Anything else that website one should be doing better in terms of supporting people running scrums and things?
I think the biggest issue was the manual copy pasting of the link.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what you've talked about, giving the link for the wrong, how do you call it? For the wrong video, a previous video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I missed pasting some of the video recordings, didn't I? I didn't. I guess it forgot to do it, and it just occurred to me now that I forgot to do probably three or four of those.
And it's easily done, and it's in the past we had this, where it was automated. And having the manual step is a real pain because when you're running a scrum, it's the last thing you need is like other stuff to worry about. So,
oh yeah, I didn't even think about doing it during the scrum. Okay, well, I should post those links to the Slack.
If you pop them into me individually, I can like hook them up with the appropriate ones and make sure that the historical record shows what happens.
Okay, that's even better.
Yeah, I mean that's the separate thing is. I'll put this calendar view of events in there. That's in there, Sigu. The thing that potentially will allow us to address that, remove the manual step, would be hosting our own Jitsi servers, which we were having a look at before, weren't we, Sigu? I guess that's stuck on. We just basically can't get Jitsi to run at the moment. I mean, it presumably involves us punching holes in the Azure firewall. Would you agree, Sigu?
Yeah. I started doing the firewall holes, but still I could not get any success.
Okay.
So.
Can you possibly, like, if you have any information, probably won't go into it right now as there's various other things to fix, but if you've got like the things that you tried and you've got sort of screenshots or what have you, feel free to pass on to me and let me know what you tried, and then maybe we can have a look at it again together at some point. Might be the way to go.
Right. No, it is.
Good show. Anyway, so I put a vote on the calendar view of events thing going in the channel there, because we're often wanting to get these things done. I mean, and I think the calendar view events is in the first instance not editable, I would say. So
also it's just to view the events and
I think this would just be I mean, I think sensibly we get like a static calendar view first.
Okay.
And then because the other, like, we sensibly sort of break it into and get that we can get a static calendar view, and then also like show that to a few people and see, get feedback from them about if that's helpful, or would that even be a better default view for the website one events. So
and it should have like the local time in it.
Yeah, I think it needed incorrect time for end user. I think I might revise my vote on that basis. Because I think again, it's like you can spike a demo that doesn't have the end user time and then use that to kind of get feedback from people about what the layout would be like. But I think in order to deploy it, we would almost certainly need to have the correct time being displayed for the end user.
Okay.
So it looks like, we're there. And Will, I guess you're probably still not involved in the project. So I'll maybe just go ahead and reveal that. And we have all agreed on Medium. We are so coordinated. Let's pop that in there. Okay. So that's there. That's estimated. I'll pop that in ready. And I guess I'll assign you to it. So
Yep.
Great. All right. Good stuff. Well, great to see everybody. And I guess we keep the meetings at these. And Brent was saying that the earlier time's not quite so good for him. I mean, I'm sort of imagining we'll do this, and then next week we will jump back to the original times. I think that's... Anyway, does anybody have any strong feelings on the timings of the meetings? Scrums, that is.
So next week, America moves back an hour?
Yeah, I believe so.
So it would make this time an hour earlier. Shift everything from our perspective.
Yeah, I mean, what we've done is well, I think potentially from your perspective, nothing, because we've gone back first. What we've like for me this week, it appears like all of us in the UK, the events are running an hour earlier, right? Then if we go to next week. If we leave things as they are, I think the way it worked with Adventure Site, they would all appear an hour earlier for you guys.
Yes.
But then if we push them push the events forward an hour,
then it'll be the same.
It'll be the same as it was and continue, you know.
Yeah. And it would be the same for you guys as it was last week.
Right.
Right.
So
Go on, Sigurd.
Despite all these, are we maintaining the UTC time?
I think we are maintaining the UTC time this week, but
Okay.
I mean, if we maintain the UTC time next week, then like the early Scrum is going to be very early for the US folks, so we might push things back an hour next week. But again, so Sigu, I mean, you guys don't have any time change, right?
Yeah, that's why I was just confirming if the UTC remains, then nothing is affected for us.
No. But so we'll certainly do that this week. We'll have to see about next week. There may need to be some changes next week, depending upon. Anyway, but I think it's a very confusing time of year, but it's also a great time of year to be nudged to at least consider the possibility that the time of the meetings change. So there we go.
Right.
All right. Great to see everyone. Bye for now.
Okay. Bye, guys.
See you soon.
Cheers.